My peeps, this Algebra Nation video will cover page 95, square root 100. Make sure you're paying attention on these Algebra Nation videos because they'll help you pass the EOC. You don't want to have this look on your face after you get back your EOC score. Depressing. Not worthy of a 399 or higher.
So Samantha is here and she is moving out of her house and has a bunch of stuff to sell. She's selling some tables and she is selling some chairs. So the total number of tables and chairs that she has is 30. Now when she sells those 30 tables and chairs, she makes a total of $1,640. If each chair sold for $50 and each table sold for $60, how many chairs and tables did she sell? Well, we're going to figure that out. When we look at this problem, we think of two different things. We think, okay, she's got money. There is money coming in. She's earning money based off of chairs and based off of tables. Now there's also the number, right? There's also the number of tables and chairs that she sells. Well, let's think about the amount of money that she gets. How much money is she getting from the tables and chairs? The total amount of money that she gets is $1,640. Where does that $1,640 come from? Some of it is from selling the chairs, and some of it is from selling the tables. How much money does she get from selling the chairs? Well, if each chair costs $50, every single time she sells another chair, she gets $50. The total amount of money that she gets from the chairs would just be the number of chairs that she sells times $50. So the amount of money that she gets from the chairs is $50 per chair. 50 times C is the total amount of money that she gets from selling chairs. Now we know that the total amount of money that she gets is from the chairs and the tables. Well, how much money does she get from selling the tables? Well, each one sells for $60. If each one sells for $60, how much money does she get total? It depends on the number that she sells. Do we know how many tables that she sells? No. That's our variable. Let's call it T. So the amount of money that she gets from selling tables is $60 per table times the number of tables. So the total amount of money that she gets is $1,640. That's from the money selling chairs and the money selling tables. Now, what is the other piece of information that we know in this problem? We have a total of 30 chairs and tables. The number of chairs and tables is equal to 30. Some of those 30 are chairs, and some of those 30 are tables. The number of chairs plus your number of tables gives you 30 tables and chairs. Well, using this information, we can set up a system of equations and solve for our variables. We can solve for C, the number of chairs, and T, the number of tables. So let's do this one using elimination. We want to make sure that we can eliminate one of our variables. What do we need to make sure matches up? We need to have either a 50C and a negative 50C, or we need to have a 60T and a negative 60T. We need to make sure that when we combine, when we add together these two equations, one of our variables is eliminated. Well, how can I make this C be a negative 50C? Remember, when I have a C by myself, the coefficient is really just 1. You have 1 of C. Well, what can I multiply 1 by to make it negative 50? All right, I would just multiply it by negative 50. So I'm going to multiply my entire second equation times negative 50. So I'm basically distributing negative 50 to every single term. Well, what is negative 50 times 30? Well, negative times a positive, we know we're going to get a negative. Now what? 50 times 30. If you want to, you could use your calculator. We get 1,500. 5 times 2 would be 15. 2 zeros, we got 1,500. 1,500 equals what? Negative 50 times 1C. Negative 50 times 1 gives us negative 50. You got it. So we have negative 50C. What happens when we multiply T by negative 50? Same thing. We have a minus 50T. Well, let's rewrite that first equation so they're next to each other. It'll make it easier for us to add them together. We have $1,640 equals 50C plus plus 60, there we go, plus 60t. We were just rewriting our first equation. Well, now we're going to combine these. What happens when we combine them? One of our variables is going to be eliminated. Let's go through each piece. We have $1,640 minus $1,500. Well, are we going to end up with a positive or a negative value? Positive, because the 1640 is bigger. So we have 1,640 minus 1,500. Now, if you put it in your calculator as a negative 1,500 plus 1,640, you're going to end up with the same value. Both of them will give you a value of 140. All right, now what happens? Negative 50c plus 50c. Well, those cancel out. They are eliminated. So we only have one variable left. We have our t's. So we have a negative 50t and a positive 60t. 60 minus 50 gives us what? 10t. Well, now we just solve for t. Divide both sides by 10. When we do that, we'll get t by itself. 140 divided by 10, we get 14. T is equal to 14. The number of tables that Samantha has to sell is 14. Well, remember, we had 30 tables and chairs. Well, if out of those 30, 14 of them are tables, how many are left to be chairs? 30 minus 14 of them. That's basically just using our first equation and solving for C, the number of chairs. So let's write that out. We had 30 equals our number of chairs plus our number of tables. Well, if we know that the number of tables is 14, let's put that in. T, the same thing as saying 14. So we have C plus 14 is equal to 30. Well, now I just want to solve for C. If I'm adding 14 here, I'm going to subtract it to get rid of it. What happens? 30 minus 14. I have 30 and I take away 14, I'm left with 16, equals C plus 14 minus 14. These cancel out, and I'm left with C. My number of chairs is 16. Great job on the systems of equations question. If you have any problems, post them on the wall.